Dobry, Damian z tej strony, witam Was serdecznie. A kogo tu witam? Witam Rudkosia, gdzie tam Simpat był, Kamil XD. Także witam w gierce Autopsy Simulator, część druga. Znaczy, drugie spotkanie na kanale, dawno to było, ale wróćmy sobie do tego. Witam Was serdecznie. Bez przeciągania zaczynamy. Kurde, tylko było tak. No to leci. Cześć Rafał, siemanko.
I'm exhausted. I wonder who Stephen brought in today.
Dajcie tylko znać, czy mnie słychać.
Good morning, Mr. Ridley. No, he's not here yet? No, I'll do without him. I hope he... Oh, come on. He was too lazy to even wheel the gurney to the autopsy room.
Cicho jestem. No to czekaj. Cicho jestem. Kurwa, nie wiem, co się z tym dzieje. Dobra, damy to. Nie wiem, co się z tym dzieje. Bardziej wiem. Jeszcze właśnie właściwości tylko. No już się dałem na 300%, to jest masakra. Także nie wiem, o co tam może Rudkoś chodzić. Cześć uszatek, siemka.
Almost there. Now for the tough part. The body needs to be moved. Where's Ridley when you need him?
Także teraz się pobawimy troszkę.
I just need some gloves and my apron. Then I can get to work.
Dobra,
I'm going to need my
fartuch.
tape recorder for this.
Jest masakra, bo już... A Rudkoś teraz lepiej, bo mi tu normalnie wszystko na czerwone pola już wchodzi, nie?
Autopsy dated November 22nd, 1991. 7:32 p.m. Led by Dr. Jack Hanman. I wasn't sure it would amount to anything, but the World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding. I begin by verifying the identity of the Jane Doe. It's most likely Harper Lloyd, age 35, found in a well-owned house by her neighbors Leonard and Dorothy Chelsea, reported missing for a week. It is also known that the deceased was diagnosed with affective bipolar disorder. Harper was placed on drug therapy, which she dropped out of fairly regularly. During her treatment, she was under the care of her common-law partner, Richard Benson, professional truck driver. The last person who had contact with the deceased was her partner. Harper's last message read as follows. I'm gonna take a shit in their stupid well. Then we'll see who has the last laugh. Nice one. Police records also show that Mrs. Lloyd was in constant conflict with her neighbors. The constant parties and subsequent brawls made living in the area nearly impossible, especially when Lloyd's partner wasn't around. Firefighters found the body after the Chelsea family began complaining that their tap water tasted strange, and at one point had begun to smell and turn a dark color. I proceed to open the bag and check the state of decomposition of the corpse. The most important task in forensic identification of a drowned person is to distinguish whether the death occurred before or after entering the water. Okay, that could have been worse. I carefully removed the victim's clothes so as not to damage the skin.
Masakra to jest.
The deceased was found fully clothed. One shoe was missing. I'm going to need the camera to document all possible suspicious marks.
Cześć Marek, siemanko i uszatek siemka, bo nie wiem czy się witałem.
Is the very advanced post-mortem gigantism.
Cześć Radek, siemanko.
The skin of the deceased appears very delicate, smooth, and relaxed from being in the water for a long time. The whole body is extremely pale. Post-mortem markings are seen on the underside of the body, that is, on the back, thighs, and calves of the deceased. There are bruises and hemorrhages on the neck. These usually occur due to increased inhalation when fighting to breathe underwater. It's likely that the deceased was lying on her back when she was fished out.
Dobra, szukamy dalej, no. O, tu coś było.
The so-called washerwoman's skin on the feet. The deceased had indeed been in the water for a long time.
Tyś jest Rudkoś walnięty jednak. Kurwa.
The skin on the hands can be easily separated from the body. The separation
Tak,
takes the
widziałem,
form of a
widziałem.
glove.
Ciekawe, czy to już będzie z DLC Łódź, czy nie? Zobaczymy. Ale chyba tak, no.
There are some obvious scratches on the skin.
Dobra, zdjęcia na tablicy.
So, after the preliminary exam, it's time to take a closer look at this.
Przeprowadź sekcję zwłok. No super, kurwa.
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife.
Kajcia se zmienię tylko, a nie, bo tu w sumie mogę zmienić.
I guess I forgot to clean the knife. Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
Dobra, co ja teraz muszę zrobić? Ubrany jestem. Kto przeprowadzał sekcję zwłok?
I was, but the World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding up my work.
No jak ja mam to zabrać?
Today's date. The deceased was cloned. Rigor mortis does not need to be checked. Based on the state of decay, you can be sure it has subsided.
Lupa. Lupa.
Where to start? There are obvious scratches on the skin, especially on the back and hands. These could be defensive wounds, evidence of some sort of altercation prior to death.
No dobra.
The spots have a purplish blue-red hue, which is a typical sign of the death of the organism. Yep, pretty typical. Liver mortis are formed as a result of putrefaction of blood in the veins. Due to the fact that the deceased was wearing shoes all the time, her feet are in better condition than her hands. Nevertheless, we can still notice a clear, wavy skin and the so-called washerwoman's skin texture.
Aha, czyli... No spoko nawet cena.
No obvious signs of struggle. The skin on the hands would have easily peeled away from the flesh. Some of the fingers have already lost their nails.
No dobra, co tu jeszcze mamy?
We see thick, white foam in the mouth of the deceased, resulting from pulmonary edema. Foam is a characteristic in deaths due to drowning.
A czemu ona oka nie ma?
Okay, that's probably enough to indicate it. I'd better note that down in the records.
Było tu.
Marks found on the neck and foaming at the mouth are typical signs of drowning. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual. Hands heavily wrinkled from submersion in water. Considering the deceased's penchant for drinking alcohol, diffuse spots are caused by blood rotting in the veins.
I tu.
Those abrasions appear relatively fresh. No healing or scarring is visible.
Potem. Zaznacz, zastanów się nad każdym urazem w sekcji śladu. I co tu teraz czeka? Co tu zrobić?
Liver mortis of a different color could indicate poisoning with carbon monoxide, cyanides, or nitrates. However, this is not the case here. In this case, the question is, was drowning an accident or of suicidal intent? Their distribution suggests that the victim was probably lying on her back when fished out of the water. Fortunately, the skin on the hands didn't fall off. Otherwise, I'd have trouble identifying the deceased. A simple trip, loss of balance, and as a result, you end up in a deep hole with no way out. Maybe it's just abrasion, or maybe the result of a fight and being pushed into a well. That's all for now.
No dobra.
Before I begin the dissection, I'll make sure the suggested identity is correct. The suitcase with the fingerprint equipment should be around here somewhere.
W co ja gram? Kurwa, masakra.
Oh, here it is. With decomposing bodies, the tissue of the pads of the fingers tends to shrink. To remove these shrinkages, if the body of the deceased is well preserved, fingerprinting is similar to that of a living person. The fingerprint sheet should always be checked. Slipping fingers, too much or too little ink, or inaccurate hand position can make fingerprints illegible. I'm going to conduct a dactyloscopic examination. If in fact the deceased is in the police database, I will find her.
Glicerynę w opuszki palców. Tak, czekajcie, włożę sobie za... O.
Glycerin is injected successively between the nail and the skin of each finger. The substance then enters the fingertip, removing shrinkage and wrinkles. Now I take a brush.
Posmaruj dłoń atramentem.
Only when the skin is taut and elastic can you use ink.
Chyba nie to.
I think it's enough. I'm getting fingerprint samples. In the case of drowning victims, you have to be extremely careful. The skin may fall off the hand like a glove when you take the print. I'll use the fax machine to add the print into the system. Green button and...
No, z tym właśnie maszyna i kto to tam? Simfactor, no to może być ciekawe, nie?
Once the data uploads, I'll run the prints against the police database on the computer. Great, the data is there. Click upload. Now, go through the database and find a matching print. Expect possible hours of fun.
Jak ja mam to analizować?
One more. Okay. Let's check for matches.
To raczej będzie to.
Analyze button.
Bingo.
Then we have a result.
Ta-da!
Everyone has a story to tell, even if it's just a police record.
Kto to jest?
So, as
Harper
predicted,
Lloyd.
the deceased turned out to be Harper Lloyd. That went smoothly. I'll print this out and attach it to the medical records.
Zmarła, zakłócenie porządku publicznego pod wpływem alkoholu. Wszystko pod wpływem alkoholu. No, brudna robota, dokładnie.
Great. Now I can go back to my inspection. I'm adding the name of the deceased. I'll start the internal examination by taking fluid from the victim's brain. A needle inserted through the nose will do the trick. If the victim was alive when she fell into the well, she must have swallowed water fighting for her life. And then diatoms, characteristics of pooled water like a well,
Cześć Rafik,
got into the
siemanko.
body.
Dobra, gdzie jest
In the meantime,
mikroskop?
I'll check the sample under the microscope. I'm sure that these algae traces will be found in the samples taken from the well where police found the body. Now I need to adjust the knobs properly and place the diatom in the center of the slide. I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this distance. Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of the aperture still needs... Oh. The aperture still needs adjustment. The image is too dark. Oh. I'm finally starting to see something here. Nah. Oh. I'm finally starting to see something here. It's not a dirty lens. And perfect.
O,
It's not a dirt. And perfect. It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, but rather a bad... And perfect. As expected, we find the aforementioned algae in the solution. Their upper part, epitheca, which overlaps the lower, hypotheca, is clearly visible. The presence of diatoms in the brain samples taken indicate that the
Kurwa, co ja
deceased
robię,
was
co ja
certainly
robię.
alive when she fell into the water and was possibly conscious.
aha, czyli zabójstwo. Chociaż niekoniecznie, bo mogła się pośliznąć.
Since there were diatoms in the brain, it means that many more of them must have entered the body. Studies of the rest of the organs will most likely confirm this hypothesis. I can finally get to the practical part.
Dobra, wybierz skalpel.
I must be extra careful because the skin of the deceased is very stretched. I wouldn't want an explosion here. You can immediately see a very large swelling of the organs. In addition, all internal organs are very congested. I proceed to remove the rib cage.
Ja, w co ja gram, kurwa? Nożyce.
It's easy to see that the ribs have been imprinted in the lungs. So, I'm going to start by drawing blood from the lungs for testing for diatoms. If diatoms were only present in the lungs, this would mean that the victim was placed in the well after death, and the perpetrator wanted to get rid of the corpse in this way. Now, I remove the lungs and proceed to their examination.
Dokładne badanie. Tu nic nie widzę.
Taking the lungs in my hand, I feel that the tissues have lost their
Czy mam to
elasticity,
wziąć? No
which is the
dobra.
result of water emphysema. In addition, there is significant swelling of the organs, and as a result, we have a nice imprint of the ribs. The emphysema itself, it's clear how far it's progressed, which is characteristic of drowning. Corpses found in water are worth examining with a tomograph. However, I can't count on such luxuries, so I must reach for a more archaic technology. A bucket and water.
Wiadro ma odnaleźć? No dobra. W składziku, to idziemy do składziku. To raczej nie tu. Tam ktoś szedł, czy mi się wydawało?
Who has anyone been here?
Co to jest?
I hope no one dipped a mop in it. It's best to go to the lab for this.
Tu ktoś szedł, widzieliście to? O kurwa. Weź wiadro do laboratorium, no to... Aha, To jest tu jeszcze inny zlew? A dzięki. No przecież tu jest tylko zlew, albo jest ten...
Historically, the lung float test is used to detect infanticide. The water should be at room temperature.
Jaka ujebana woda.
That's enough. To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water. This checks if there's air in the lungs.
No dobra, idziemy
And
sobie wziąć
speaking of
płuca.
lungs, everything is ready to bring them here.
O kurwa. Ty, ona wstała, widzisz to? Dzięki.
Of course, such a study isn't without flaws. Air may have entered a newborn's airways during resuscitation attempts. Gases released during decomposition could also give a false
Ona
result.
wstała normalnie.
In this case, however, it's about something else. Namely, the amount of fluid in the lungs. To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of
to
water
było?
and wait to see if they fall or if they will float on the surface. Just as I assumed, the lungs collapsed easily. Fluid could have entered the lungs during panic attempts to catch breath underwater, but it could also be the result of bacterial infections or cancer, so further investigation is needed.
Aha, dzięki Marek.
I move on to dissecting the lungs of the deceased.
Co ja żem się wpierniczył?
You can hear the distinct, very unpleasant crackling of the tissues being cut through. parenchyma is remarkably pale, although small hemorrhagic foci and petechia are present on the surface.
Smacznie to wygląda.
All right. Now, I will check the collected fluid under a microscope. If we find 20 diatoms on the slide, it can be considered drowning, and our result is not false positive due to possible contaminations.
Użyj.
Let's see. Although I expect we'll find them easily. I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this distance. Great. The aperture still needs... Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. Nah, too much light. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. And perfect.
Co ja gram, kurwa. Się wydaje, ta jasność jest za duża. O.
It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, but rather a bad focus. And perfect.
O, teraz jest zajebiście widać. W szkole na biologii pod mikroskopem lubię tam oglądać jakieś badziewie.
As expected. In solution, the diatoms are clearly visible. There are smaller and larger clusters of them. There will definitely be more than 20 of them. I'll make a note of all this. So far, this case looks pretty standard. It's clear from the beginning that it's drowning. Well, the procedure requires me to check everything anyway.
No dobra.
So, I move on to checking the other organs. I ligate the heart, and then remove it for inspection.
Czyli nie to. Co lupą? No chyba nie bardzo. Zaufał. No coś tu widać, ale to chyba nie to ma być. To też nie to. O.
Strongly developed putrefactic hemolysis of the organ can be seen at first glance. Apart from that, no signs of a heart attack or other heart
A
disease.
czytałem, że tą grę to była konsultowana właśnie z tymi lekarzami, co sekcje przeprowadzają. A, dobra.
I move on to the next organ. This time, it's the liver. It's immediately apparent that the deceased didn't care for herself. Like most organs, her liver is enlarged and severely congested. The beginnings of cirrhosis are visible in some areas.
Czyżby koleżanka z Polski?
I transfer the organ to a board and proceed to dissect. The cross-section clearly shows dilated veins and many small hemorrhagic foci.
Jakiś jest Rutko zjebnięty normalnie. Ale Rutko ojebałbyś taką wątróbeczkę, nie? Z
I
cebulką.
must admit that this is quite a feat, considering the rather young age of the deceased.
No jest masakra, nie?
Harper enjoyed drinking so much that she might not have lasted a few more years.
Alkoholowa zmarska.
I move on to the stomach. I take a sample of the fluid for testing.
Dobra.
It looks very turbid. I'll see what happens after spinning, but that's in a moment. Now, I carefully ligate the organ, then cut it off. It's enlarged, probably full of putrid gases. I transfer it to the board and carefully open it, checking the contents.
A gdzie ja mam to zaznaczyć? Ja tu nic nie widzę. A, zamkniteczkę, no dobra. O, smalczyk. O. Dobra, idziemy kroić wątróbeczkę. O matko.
One thing you'd never get used to is how much this desk smells.
Zaraz mi stołu braknie.
Okay, the stomach is full of fluid and unidentified organic matter, which is probably leftover food.
O, to. Ja
So let's
pierdolę, ja
check
tu
the
wątrobę
diatoms.
kroję, ja ci o smalczyku sygalałem.
Again, but in a centrifuge for a change. The problem with examining drowned people is being able to show whether the death was due to drowning or whether something else contributed to the death. Cramp, heart attack, drugs, homicide, or some accident. Such an analysis requires viewing from different angles and a careful interpretation of the collected data, including those from the field. That's why it's so important to collect as many samples as possible. Unfortunately.
Gabinet.
They definitely pay me too little for this. Wednesday. It's not my favorite day, although it's certainly better than Monday.
Dobra, gdzie te wirówki są tu? Nie, to nie to. też nie ma. Nie no, w łazience to na pewno nie będzie. Chyba, że stąd muszę coś wziąć.
Seems to be set up and ready to go.
Nie no, użyj wirówki, no to tam musimy iść. Ale Radek te smalcze,
Bubuś
które...
Crazy. 10 złotych. Bubuś Crazy trzyma mocno pion.
Kurwa, dzięki, ażebym się zakrztusił normalnie. Bubuś Crazy. Gdzie te wirówki były? Tu są te wirówki. Ale co tu ja mam? Czekajcie. Nie, no tu była ta wirówka. No co ja mam coś wziąć jeszcze stamtąd? Użyj wirówki. Tu nie będzie wirówki żadnej. Chyba, że tu. Nie, to też nie. A tu jest wirówka.
Okay, this is one last little sample.
No, bubuś, bubuś. Włóż.
Now set.
Aha, bo to czekaj, bo to w notatniku. Czas 15 minut, 70%, dobra. 15 minut i 70%. A nie. To jest 135 minut, 25%, dobra. Trzydzieści 5 minut i 25. Cześć Jarek, siemanko. Bubuś, to mi się wczoraj to przypomina, ten bubuś. No dobra.
Done. I'll run it directly into the chromatograph and run it against the data from the police. I'm certain the analysis will show similarities between the fluid and water in Chelsea's well.
Wróż probówkę do
Seems to be set up and ready to go.
do statywu. Jakiego kurwa statywu?
Leżąca w prosektorium. 10 złotych. Ja gasnę na tym stole, okryj mnie.
Partnerem
Dzięki.
Kurwa, no nie. No po prostu kurwa, no nie! Boże, czy ty to widzisz?
Gdzie tu jest jakiś statyw zaś? Włóż probówkę do statywu. A tu, no dobra.
Let me think. 3 milliliters should be fine.
To jest 3 mm. No dobra, no i co ja mam tu teraz zrobić? A. No przecież jest 3 mm. No i co teraz?
Okay.
A,
Now it's the
takie
chromatograph's
paty.
turn.
Włóż probówkę do chromatografu. No dobra, co to jest chromatograf? To... Dużo mi to nie mówi.
Yes. The water sample matches the one provided by the police. Well, the results are quite clear. I was hoping it would be a more interesting case.
To zaś pewnie wstanie, kurwa.
More diatoms. Analysis indicates the same origin. Blah, blah, blah. There's little left to do. I'm going to check the airway patency of the deceased. Interesting. Looks like there's something stuck in the trachea. I'm moving to the board for further inspection.
Masakra. Dobra, idziemy sobie pokroić.
I dissect the trachea and open the organ. Inside, I find a wedding ring. This is interesting. Let me look at it. Based on the size, I can say that it's a woman's wedding ring, quite standard from the outside. There's an engraving inside. What the fuck? But this is my ring! Alice's ring! But how did it... But this should be at home. I have it! At home. It's...
Co jest, kurwa?
I have to check this out. Where are my meds? Where the fuck are my meds? Jesus Christ! Hope these all make it go away. I have to check the apartment. It can't be.
Jaka zryta akcja.
Mr. Ridley. Mr. Ridley!
What's all the ruckus?
I need to go home. Immediately.
What? Now?
I have to. Have you seen anyone here this morning? Anybody suspicious?
Oh, there was no one. Dorothy was, but only for a moment, then she left. What's wrong with you, Hammond?
Okay. Thanks.
What about the corpse?
I'll come back, I promise.
Rudkoś, ja cię proszę, bez
Jesus
takich...
Christ! I have to check this out.
Jaka pojebana akcja.
This. Please be there. It can't be your wedding ring.
Sprawdź szkatułkę. No w tym burdelu to ja nawet takiego nie mam w pokoju. Gdzież ta szkatułka? Tu jest pizza. Nie no, w kiblu to nie będzie szkatułek. Tu o.
It's not here. It's not. I need to go.
Chłopie, gdzie ty tu masz telefon? Ja pierniczę. 91 rok, weź. Na ścianie były zawsze, o.
This is sick. Fuck. Come on, Stephen. Pick up the fucking phone.
What's up, man?
They took the ring.
What? What ring? What are you talking about?
They took the wedding ring. Alice's wedding ring.
One sec. You mean burglary? You said nothing was missing.
Yes, I know that. I don't know. I was jittery. Maybe I didn't notice. I don't know, but that's not the worst of it.
Calm down, Jack. Breathe. What happened?
I found it in the trachea of the deceased I was working on. Do you understand? I pulled it out of a dead woman's trachea.
What?
I don't know what's going on. You think Red Pete wants revenge? He's playing with me. Huh? I knew it. I knew it from the beginning this was going to happen. I didn't make it up!
Jack, listen to me. Try to calm down. Don't leave the apartment. I'll be with you right away, okay? I'm on my way.
What sane person would do something like that? Fucking Ridley lets in whoever he likes as usual. What are you saying? Stephen? Don't leave me, man. Come on.
Padnasolik miałem taki.
Oh, God, what now?
O, i to jest dobre. Usiądź przy biurku i zrób
I
sobie
need a
drinka.
drink. Jesus. What's going on?
No i chłopie, namówiłeś, no.
Just one sip more. Yep. Jesus.
O,
Okay.
dobra, póki się nic nie dzieje, to mogę zapalić.
Yep. Okay.
Chapter 3.
These reports will kill me one day. It's time to go to work.
O, Heineken. Makaron z truskawkami. Ten nie ma tego. Czyli to mu się nie śniło.
Fuck.
Porosonic.
Hi, this is Charlotte. I guess I interrupted you again?
Oh, hi. No, I just...
Dobrze, nie pornosonic.
I wrote reports in those last sections, and I was just about to leave for work.
I always know when to call.
Yeah, definitely. What's up? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What about you?
Okay, nothing new. I had a few days off.
Oh, that's nice. Then... Did you have a moment to look for something for me?
Something for you?
Well... the photo with, the photo I asked you for?
It hasn't come yet? Oh, sorry, but I said it a week ago.
No, not yet. Maybe I'm too impatient. Sorry for rushing you. You have so much on your mind, I thought...
Nie, bo tam coś było z włamaniem, Rudkości,
It's
coś nie pamiętam
No
tej
worries.
pierwszej części, co w to grałem.
With my pills,
Znaczy pierwszego odcinka.
Pills. I almost forgot to take my pills. So you see,
Yeah.
I have to go now.
Yes, sure.
Let me know if you still haven't received the letter. Then I'll try... well, maybe I'll find something else.
Oh, really? Could you? That... It would be great if you could. Really?
Yes. I know it means a lot to you.
Well, I won't hold you any longer. Thanks. Bye.
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 Take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Damn. Did I mess up the address? How am I gonna get those pills?
Dobra, gdzie tu ta łazienka była? Tu. Czemu ci w Ameryce wszyscy mają tabletki w
Maybe I
łazienkach?
should invite Charlotte to do something herself.
Wynieś śmieci.
I should take out the trash first.
A te.
Ugh. Why is it so wet? Oh shit. Almost left the door open. I shouldn't be this tired.
Fucking hell!
Co jest? Jakżem się wystraszył. Gdzie mam to wyrzucić? Tu.
Disgust me.
I wonder if Alice's mother has a film of this photo somewhere. I actually hadn't thought about it before. I should call her on Friday.
Poczekajcie chwilę.
Oh, God. Why do I like sleeping so much?
Sorki, podatek od nieruchomości.
Huh?
Co to zaś było?
It's just me, Jack.
Tego zaś nie ma?
Good afternoon.
Isn't it a bit early for you?
I missed our invigorating conversations. Has Stephen brought the body?
Yeah, the trolley's in the hall. Maybe wheeling it to the dissection room will be invigorating enough for you.
I've missed how friendly and helpful you are.
A nie w sobotę chodzą
I think I'll get straight to work on this one.
z podatkami.
Focusing on something will do me some good. Christ, this one's heavy. Hey, Mr. Ridley, I need help. I can't lift this bag myself. Ridley! Ugh, wasn't easy, but at least I can start.
Dobra, rękawiczki co tu gdzieś były.
A new package must have arrived. I guess Dorothy ordered it. I think I'll skip recording a video for the students today. They don't need to see me and the body. Ugh. And they'll still have the accompanying photos anyway.
Mikrofon, czyli standard.
November 27th, 1991, 5:14 p.m. Conducted James Evans Jr., also known as Jesse. Evans had previously been convicted of possession of stolen goods, robberies, and drug trafficking. There were also attempts to accuse him of leading a criminal group responsible for burglaries in the New Orleans area. What? Burglaries in the New Orleans area? This is... It's a rather strange coincidence. The body was found naked and mutilated. Clothes, probably belonging to the deceased, were found lying nearby. The body was found inadvertently in the woods near Peetsville. The dogs picked up the scent while searching for a missing boy. The deceased's father, James Evans Sr., is a local businessman. He was the one who reported the disappearance. At the time of the report, his son hadn't been home for 3 days.
No
These
troszeczkę.
photos show that the body was not even particularly hidden, but only covered with a thin layer of soil, branches, and leaves.
Może trafik, no.
Sounds disturbing. I wonder what condition the body is in then. I'll start by opening the bag.
O,
Oh, fuck. I didn't expect this level of mutilation. This is going to be a dirty job. I'll check through the bag the police left.
zawartość torby na stół.
Maybe there will be something worth noting about the victim's clothes. Leather belt, plain gun, classic jeans. Well, dirty and torn. Certainly not my style. Traces of blood and plasma. It could have been used to stop or reduce bleeding. Is this?
Coś ty tu znalazł.
Interesting. Most of the blood is visible around the neckline. However, after decapitation, I would expect a larger stain, reaching much further. Mainly traces of soil. It's a bit like the perpetrator's pulled his shirt over his head. The bloodstains don't appear to be related to any injuries on the body. The deceased must have a lighter, engraved with the police insignia. Stolen? Or maybe purchased from a pawn shop? It looks somehow... it's probably a coincidence.
No, tu jest wszystko już. A tu coś jeszcze
Something
jest.
stuck here. It looks like some kind of ectasis? Scale? This could point to an animal being responsible. Traces of dirt mixed with blood and rubbed leaf litter. Heavens must have been crawling. And here, another animal souvenir. It looks different than the previous one. The only thing I can tell from the clothes... Okay, I'll take a look at the scales. They seem too different. Dorothy once brought an animal encyclopedia here. She performed an autopsy on an exotic animal smuggler. The guy suffered an accident while transporting illegal animals. Not only were the police needed on site, but it took nearly a day to round up his cargo. Dorothy had a hard time with that case. Did the impact kill him? Or did one of the animals he was transporting do him in? They even talked about it on the news. People were terrified that some reptile would just come out of their can and grab him. Okay, the book.
No i czemu tego nie mogę wziąć? Przecież to jest to.
They definitely pay me too little for this. Wednesday. It's not my favorite day, although it's certainly better than Monday.
Cały czas jest sirota? No przecież to jest to. No jak ja mam to zabrać? Że się to zgliczowało jeszcze, bo się wkurwię.
I don't see any need to mess with the electrics. They are flaky enough as it is.
O. Idź do laboratorium. Co to zaś?
Who is this?
Kurwa zawału zaraz dostanę.
All right. Which page was it?
To raczej nie była zebra.
Local wildlife. I bet I'll find something here. Not this area, but who knows? Nile crocodile. Formerly worshipped as a god in ancient Egypt, and today just by kids at the zoo. What kind is this? Salt water. Oh, yes. This turtle turned out to be a killer. He ripped off the guy's wrist and tore him in a few other places. Aggressive beast. I only need to concentrate on the crocodile chapter. How it... doesn't seem to be fake.
Nie, to jest, czekajcie, to będzie...
How it...
To będzie to,
doesn't seem to be fake.
a to będzie to, nie?
Very similar, but the color is slightly different.
To?
Well, this scale makes more sense than the previous one. How did it end up here? So, either someone donned in crocodile products was around the deceased, or one of them attacked him. I'll examine the body and take photos. If an animal attacked him, there'll be traces. Ugh, Christ. Why am I so tired? Some coffee would be nice. What was I supposed to... the pictures. I'll have to show them to Dorothy. Too bad that we no longer keep our ranking. With something like that, I would come out on top. I've been a case like this for a long, long time. All right, I'll begin. The deceased's skin is smooth and taut. This suggests an advanced stage of decomposition of the corpse. Nasty. It's unlikely that a human would make such a wound. Such a wound could not have occurred during the
Powalona
victim's
gra.
lifetime. Evans couldn't have tied himself up like that. It looks like some sort of attack or kidnapping. Oh, and as expected, there's a bite. No head. That's not hard to miss. This wound appears to have been made by a sharp instrument.
Dobra, jeszcze dwa.
Interesting. This needs to be investigated further.
Tak głowę dołożyć i bym mi przypominał kogoś. A tu jeszcze.
There are also clear traces of the deceased ankles being bound in some way.
Masakra, co to za gra jest? No dobra.
I need to gather my thoughts together. And look at these photos. It seems that I wonder whether the decapitation took place. The work of animals can be seen here. I have some suspicions about these marks.
Zdjęcie z ugryzieniem, to będzie...
This looks very promising. The bite is clearly visible. It should be easy to compare it with the encyclopedia and identify the culprit. I just need to make it a little bigger. It'll be faster than physically measuring. I hope I put it in right. I can never remember whether it was image up or image down.
W życiu bym nie chciał takiej roboty.
At university, I didn't have facilities like a fax machine. Everything was done by hand. Ah, fantastic. Practically a one-to-one. Just some tracing paper, a pencil, and I can check these in the encyclopedia. Now, did I leave them in a drawer? Or maybe a box somewhere? Ugh. I don't remember if I left them out somewhere.
A to akurat nie o Mareckiego mi chodziło. Gdzie to biuro moje? Gdzie to biuro było tu?
Awful. It would be good to finally repair the coffee machine. It won't be needed for the next few months. They definitely pay me too little for this.
Jak ja mam tu kalkę jakąś zrobić? Zrób kalkę. Jak ja mam tą kalkę zrobić? Ktoś wie coś? Zrób kalkę. A to tu jest.
Oh, Looks like I can tidy up after myself. Sometimes. A very, nature-driven case so far. I'll have to consult the encyclopedia again. Good thing Dorothy left it here. Otherwise, I would have had to run back to my place to get some.
Gdzie to ten atlas był zaś? Tu chyba. Nie, tu. Nie, tu. Laboratorium. Tu. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć.
It makes sense. This would also explain the mold found in the clothes. It turns out that some of the wounds can be safely blamed on local alligators. However, we cannot blame them for the decapitation.
Opa, aligator wpierniczył.
It's not these animals we should be afraid of here. I should make some notes and start the autopsy.
Co to zaś tu było?
And look for Mississippi alligator. It's strange that an alligator would leave such a clear and smooth mark. Several stab wounds of varying depth and circumference. The imprints are quite deep and even. From the looks of it, I'd say Evans was restrained with his own belt. The result of an animal tearing at its body, eaten skin, soft tissues, and genitals. There are even some teeth marks, but, well, it doesn't look like an alligator. The bite is firmly incorporated into the wound. A photo alone won't help me here. I need to make a cast and compare it. Looks like an uneven bite. It's worth taking a closer look at this. Maybe there will be some remaining teeth marks. Evan's right side must have been more attractive to the crocs and insects.
No raczej nie, Rafik.
Very strong binding marks. You can see peeled epidermis and small wounds. It looks like the killer might have missed before they finally hit the neck.
Dobra, jeszcze jedno gdzieś tu było. No ja.
It doesn't look good. Evans wasn't decapitated with one cut.
Kurwa, nie wiem.
There's no end to playing zoologist today.
Powalone to jest. Idź do laboratorium. O matko.
I need a tool with dental impression cement. Can I find it here? No. It's probably lying somewhere around in the lab. I hope the cement hasn't expired.
Weź tu jakiś pistolet teraz znajdź do tego. A tu jest, dobra.
A month after the due date. That could be worse. Now I need to cover the bite area. Wait until it hardens. I think it's ready. The cast looks quite contaminated from the other wounds in that area.
No bo Rafik, tu ciebie jeszcze nie było, jak wątrobę kroiłem. To my se tu właśnie pisali o wątróbce z cebulką tam. Takie rzeczy.
Well, let's hope the imprint turns out better. Brush, ink, and paper. Similar to taking fingerprints.
Idź do tacy z gotowym odlewem. Posmaruj
Paint over the
odlew
area.
ornamentem.
And put a piece of paper on it.
Przyłóż kartkę.
That's very strange. I'll run it through the facts and check it on the computer. I really don't want to believe what I'm seeing.
Użyj faksu, żeby... A, no dobra.
Loading.
A,
What? Wow. This is, well, this is quite unexpected. Human teeth. Oh, fuck. I need to tell this to Stephen.
to raczej nie będzie to. To raczej będzie to. Też nie to? Aha, bo to się... Brak zgodności.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Nie, to nie będzie to chyba. To też nie będzie to. Ale to będzie to.
Loading. It'll probably take a while.
niezgodności.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Nie, to nie będzie to na pewno. To drugie też nie. Trzecie też nie, chyba że to drugie to będzie. Nie, to będzie to.
Loading. It'll probably take a while.
To ileż tych zębów oni tu mają? To nie będzie to. Będzie to.
Loading. It'll probably take a while.
Do czego gryzło?
Finally. What? The partial impression I have may match several people. Okay, this one is in prison, so he's out. Another in prison. Oh, here's someone with quite interesting tendencies. Oh,
Cześć ojciec,
right there.
siemanko.
It doesn't fit. This one doesn't either. I'm afraid this will remain a mystery. The killer's profile is getting more and more interesting. I'm going back to the body. I need to make a note before I start the dissection.
Protocol shift.
You can see that the tool used was sharp. They look quite torn tissue. This wound turned out to be more troublesome than I...
Jeszcze tu coś musi być. Ale ojciec, nie tylko ty w powalone grasz gry. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć. Jeszcze jedno musi być gdzieś. A tu, dobra.
The abdominal and genital area are supplied with plenty of blood. If the penis was bitten off while he was alive, Evans could have bled to death. The perfect breeding ground for larvae. Fortunately, the deceased doesn't care about it, just like we do now. Alligators rarely kill humans. Man. Time for internal analysis. Finally. First of all, I'll try to determine whether death occurred before the decapitation, or if it ended Evan's suffering. With the scalpel, I'll open the deceased's chest. I cut deep, in a straight line. We see a lot of fat tissue under the skin. When I remove the ribs, I expect to see even more fat on the organs. Correct. High levels of internal fat. Organ size above average due to obesity. I move on to the lung analysis. The deceased smoked cigarettes. But more importantly, you can see that the lungs have clearly suffered severe trauma. The lung parenchyma is abnormal with diffuse hemorrhage. And this is the culprit. Well, it didn't look like the holes were that deep. Such hemorrhage could have been caused by hitting the chest with a blunt object, or a puncture directly affecting the organ. They appear to be of different depths.
Jak się
The
nic nie
cross-section
kloi.
is uneven. Open pneumothorax should be added to this. The deceased could have experienced extreme hypoxia. and, as a result, obstructive shock.
Się wszystko kroi. Właśnie mówię, że na ostatnim krojeniu wątroby żeśmy gadali o wątróbce z cebulką.
I wonder what the heart looks like then. The organ is enlarged with very clear, light yellow traces of steatosis on the surface. No signs of heart attack. But similarly to the lungs, there is a trace of puncture with a sharp object. In pneumothorax, the heart rate increases. In the event of such a wound, this would mean bleeding out
A Rafik
faster.
przy tym se
more.
szamkę robi,
In
także
turn, a sudden increase in the amount of fluid in
Jest
the
grubo, no.
pericardial cavity could lead to cardiac tamponade, which is also a life-threatening condition.
No, co tu mamy teraz?
Evans,
Aha,
however,
fuck.
is remarkably clean, considering this turn of events. This all looks quite disturbing. I wonder if I'll find anything on the liver. The organ is
O
fatty and
właśnie, tu
enlarged.
wątróbka.
Beginnings of cirrhosis are obvious. Well, that's it. This time, nothing to write home about. So, I
Marskość
proceed
wątroby
to
mają.
carefully remove the stomach. Like most other organs, it is fatty and clearly enlarged, not to mention swollen, partially due to gases, but mainly due to the deceased's lifestyle. I take the organ to the cutting board. The outside is intact. I'm going to check the contents.
Kurwa, zaś to będę kroić.
It sounds like there's an unusually large amount of undigested, and now rotten stomach contents inside. Blood. Evans had to swallow it due to his injuries, which means he was still alive when he was brutally wounded in the chest.
On ma coś nieuszkodzone? Nie wiem właśnie. No to tak wygląda, że wszystko ma uszkodzone.
Only the trachea left to be examined. Surprisingly, it's not damaged by the decapitation. I move on to cutting it open.
No dobra, to idziemy tu.
Okay. I carefully cut, and... blood, just as I expected. Evans not only swallowed it, but also choked on it. Looks like I can wrap this up. Let me tie this together. After he was abducted, stripped, and tied up, he was dealt several penetrating blows to the chest. Then his head was cut off. Evans was deprived of his genitals, and the body served as an easy meal for the animals. Even though there are a lot of injuries on the body that could cause death, it was the decapitation that ended Evans' life. The animal bites in the limbs occurred after death, so there's no reason to treat these as the cause of death. The damage to the lungs and heart must have led to severe hemorrhaging, so there's no doubt that Evans was choking in bloody convulsions. But it didn't last too long. which I conclude from the small amount of blood in the stomach and trachea. I never thought I'd ever wish someone to have a heart attack, but in this case, it would have been better for him. In some way, it can be said with certainty that James Evans was murdered.
Morderstwo.
Oh well. I need to stitch this poor guy back up. It's really bothering me. Something's not right here. Because even now, the organs are relatively clean. The skin around wounds also, it's like, someone pumped it out? Christ. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
No byłbyś, no musiało być.
I'll leave these questions for the police to solve. And now, I get to head home.
Zaś tu ktoś wstanie, kurwa.
It's a fucked up thing. I'll hold off taking long walks in the forest for the near future. I have a feeling that it won't end with just one body.
Ja to pozamykam, bo tu ktoś łazi non stop. Albo mi się wydaje, że tu ktoś łazi. Mam taką schizę tu, że głowa mała.
Good night, Mr. Ridley. The body is ready to be picked up.
Sure. Good night.
I think it's the first time in a long time that I finished work at a decent hour. I'll get home and... What? I can't believe what I'm seeing. Oh, come on. Fuck. I'm going to Ridley's. Maybe he saw something.
Jeszcze gdzieś się chyba przeziębiłem. Kicham jak głupi.
Ridley, do you know what happened to my car?
What happened to your car?
All the tires are fucking flat!
Well, it happens. Don't you have a spare in the trunk?
Spare ones in the trunk. No one carries 4 fucking extra tires. In the trunk!
Jesus, Handman, calm down. I'll call you a taxi.
Calm down? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? Have you seen anyone around here? Someone strange? Suspicious?
Except you? No.
Haha, funny. I don't find all these jokes amusing, you know.
What jokes? Handman, what's wrong with you? It's just tires.
Such things are not a coincidence! What's wrong with me? Things keep happening. Last week. And now this?
Just go wait for the taxi, okay? Fresh air would do you good. Neither you nor I will do anything about it now.
Neither you nor I will do anything? What have you been doing all day? Surely something like this can't just be overlooked.
Maybe you should go outside and cool down. I'm calling a taxi.
To ojciec co dziewczę robisz dzisiaj?
I just want to sleep. It would be easier just to move in and live here. I doubt I'll get reimbursed
Dobra, bo
again.
ten następny rozdział to sobie w przyszłym tygodniu zrobimy, bo tu już jest 2 godziny prawie. Że ja sobie... Aha, bo to się samo zapisuje. Także widzimy się w 4. rozdziale po niedzieli. No i co? Dzięki, że byliście, dzięki za donejciki i do następnego razu. Trzymajcie się. O, Fira, o, to też jest pojebane. To też zapraszam do ojca na 20. Także dziękuję wam ślicznie i do następnego. Hejka.